But in the first place, I do find it very hard to give a testimony on how I became a Christian. Because this is a person who was raised in a Christian family, and my father was a pastor in the Lutheran church. So changing from Lutheran church to Church of Christ was a great task. But in the year 1997, when I was in high school, in fact, I liked reading newspapers. And through one of the newspapers, it is known as the Daily Nation in our country, I came across where it was written free Bible correspondence courses. And I had interest in learning more on the gospel. So I decided to apply through mailing all those application letters. At that point, I did not know who my teacher would be. But I was surprised that when the lessons came back, my WBS teacher was John T. Ford. There was a great challenge after receiving this lesson. One, I had to convince my father, who was a respected pastor with the Lutheran Church, to allow me to study Bible courses. But fortunately enough, through God's Spirit, I managed to convince him, and he gave me authority to study with the Word Bible School. Another challenge came after a year that I now agreed to be baptized. You see, in Kenya, they believe if your father is a respected pastor in a denomination, it's very hard to change your belief. Again, I had a task of convincing him to allow me to be baptized. And I just want to say, God was on my side. When I talked to him, he agreed, and I was baptized. And when it came, that very year was a mass. That was 1998. By October 4th, we established a church at Diropi. At that point, I was given the responsibility to lead the church. I was only 18 years old, and I did not know how I could go outside and convince people to come to the church. So those I began the church with, I tried to convince some of my age mates. There were like 10 people of my age mates, and we started a church. Then later, I now decided to talk to my family if they can change their faith, because I felt it was very, very important to let them be with me so that we could be able to convince others to join us. And that happened. I thank God for that. And through this, in the year 2002, we had so many orphans and widows who joined our church. And that made us to think. And we began thinking very deeply on how we can save the lives of these orphans. The members there, they did not have nothing in their hands. But through the givings, you see in Kenya they don't give very much. They might have the intention of helping, but they don't give very much due to most of them live in the highland of poverty. But through the little they had, we started supporting 45 orphans. And since the giving could not be enough to sustain the lives of these 45 orphans, we decided now that these orphans should be divided equally to the members of the church so that each and every member could stay with an orphan. And that succeeded well. When it came the year 2003, I started sharing with John D4 about the work that we do. At first, he told us that there are no funds for doing that. We should just keep on praying. But I want to say we didn't stop praying. We continue praying because we were really touched with the lives the orphans were leading. They could not get anything to eat. Sometimes, you see, an orphan in Kenya is somebody who is neglected. Nobody is considering about taking care of her. But since then, I want to say, becoming a Christian has really assisted me in making many to know the gospel. Currently, I'm looking after 10 congregations. Dirubi, which we started in the year 1998, we have 250 members. In total, if I sum up the number of members in all those 10 churches, I'm looking after about 2,500 members, if you add it to the orphans that we oversee. And today I stand before you to thank you and to beseech you to continue with the work that you are doing. I know no human being can reward you for it, but at one time, one day, you will get a reward for that you do. May God bless you.